Alright, so how y'all doing, boys? Hope you're doing well today. Today we have finally got the full translated, patch notes on the update for JP. Now, this is the global 1.5 anniversary, which I know it does seem weird that it's dropping on JP before it drops on global, but just due to the way that their weekly reset rolls around faster, this is the case. Now, honestly, she's looking pretty good. If you guys watched any of the live stream, I'm sure you guys noticed that the Barn team did beat the Margaret team they were using. Now, they straight up just weren't playing well. I'm not too sure if the developers quite know how their characters are played, but that's alright. I mean, looking at the unique here, and increases basic stats of Goddess Race allies by 8% every time they use a stance or buff skill. So basically this card here now is super nice. I mean, we'll have to see how it plays out. Some things don't always look the best on paper, but despite the fact that they actually have Ludociel's Grace, because if you guys have, seen the story, you know how this works. When attacking using skills for every stance or buff effect on the enemy, increase Zero's attack by 8%. So that's not Ludociel's usual Grace. He usually has the evasion one, so it's cool to see that it can actually change depending on character, because we have seen that with the commandments, how when we had the green, Festival's Eldritch release, he did have a different, commandment to the red one, because if you had the red one, he'd be just insanely busted. But I mean, typical, charge AoE attack card there. Nothing special. I mean, it is fairly strong. It's the same one as the red Arthur has, I believe. So strong, but not the best. And this is where, she gets really interesting. I feel like all the good characters as of recent and we'll see in the future are going to have a really good buff card. But increases the basic stats of all allies by 20% for 3 turns, increases attribute advantage damage dealt to enemies by 50%, and decreases disadvantage taken from enemies by 40. So basically what we're going to be running next is mono blue against the Barn team. So is this just going to become the next biggest thing? 100%, I can almost guarantee it. This with an Elizabeth and Tamiel on the front maybe would go absolutely ridiculous. And her ult is single target, so that is nice. And she does actually have Sever, so she will be able to crit Barn, since Barn's crit defense is super weak, although his crit resistance is insanely high up. So get her 6/6, pop a 1 or 2 star one of these, and Barn is basically just going to be dead now. Other than the Margaret, or as they're called here, Ludociel, skills, we have got the rest of the update here. So just looking at some of the bundles they'll be releasing, they usually do one of these per anniversary. Other than that, kind of just the stuff where you have, almost all the time, the, Belmoth upgrade materials, Anvil and Hammer packs. Nice to see that they're giving us heaps of 10 purchases you can do of these cosmetic upgrades, which is super sweet. And this one as well, which it looks like to be you get them throughout the week, but is nice. I mean, it looks fairly cheap as well, but I mean, other than that, you just have the typical, gem packs here with your tickets. So I'm super keen to summon on it. I mean, I don't think they have the banner in these patch notes, but we do know that we will be having because it's a, Holy War Fest, we do have the AM Melee and Festival Zeldris. So onto this next page here, and yeah, typical, your free 10 tickets you get from the special missions. Other than this, I mean, most of this stuff, all the images won't be translated because that's just not how Google works, but more stuff here, stuff we can't see. Now, we are also getting heaps and heaps of quality of life changes, which we'll see later on, but more of just the King exchange event. Get all your whatnot, your demon mats and whatnot. I would advise 100% though, saving your R pendants. Easy 200 anvils and heaps of enhancement stones. If you have, also level 80 and 90 to all of your SR units, these can be some really good grabs. I wouldn't, advise so much on doing these two, mainly because, they're just so valuable. And even if you have heaps of hammers and need the UR stones, it's just not a worthwhile trade. But let's see what I've got in this. Yeah, so usual, just the typical events we're getting now. We'll see later on, there is a new boss that they've added, and honestly, it is 100% my favorite demon design they've given for any of the events by far. But just the Hawk's mystery box. And what is this one? So this is just the rewards for the special boxes and for the normal ones, so not much on that page there. And also giving us one of the card draw events. Now, I am usually a big fan of these. I could imagine we'll be getting some SSR costumes for Margaret as well, since they do usually give those out. But I do believe we'll also be getting returning costumes through this boss fight here. So keys and whatnot. What's this for? Just special missions. And yeah, here he is here. So honestly, I have heard this said around quite around, and it looks an awful lot like Wobbuffet. I mean, I'm not sure if that's like I said, it's just, I'm sure you guys can see it, but pretty much, you know, the materials he drops, usually it's going to be like how it usually is. You figure out how to do it and you grind it your 3 times per day and buy out the shop. But I mean, here we go. And yeah, these are the rewards for the, you know, numbers of clears over here. Now, once again, we are getting one of these return banners, so we will get like our multi every day for the next 2 weeks of the like 1.5 anniversary, and you will be able to, you know, do your summons there. And as you get to like the 1st, 3rd, 5th step, you will be getting a free level 80 unit. Now, this is what I was talking about inside the shop here. We can actually buy some of these costumes, say if you've missed out on them. Some of these UR costumes, super nice. Instead of just going on the, I'm sure you guys know how they work, but instead of just going on the one version of the character, they span across all of them. So this can be used for Lost Vein melee, you know, normal counter melee, any of them. And some of these costumes down here. Now, I made sure to get the bracelet because that was the final bracelet I needed to max out my Ludo Seal, but you know, these are coming back, so I will be getting a hold of those. But everything else there is super nice, and here is the, you know, also it's only 10 multis, huh? That's alright. I mean, still some nice rewards at the end. You always need the Super Awakening coins, but yeah, look, the comeback tickets, and I believe in this next one, yeah, it shows you step 2, 4, 6, and 8, and I believe there were different units last time around. I believe we had Hawk and Oslo, Blue Demon Melee, Green Escanor, and someone else for the final one. I can't quite put my finger on. And then at the end, you can just pick any of the level 80 units in here. So, I mean, none of them are super crazy. I mean, you do get the Gotha, you know, and the Escanor already. So it's really up to you who you pick. I mean, I pretty much just advise if you don't have any of the characters, go for them. And these will be the milestones at the top 5 as you progress through the banners. Oh, okay. SSR characters can be obtained through. Oh no, I think that might just be translation issues. So yeah, SSR level 60 of your fully awakened character level 80. Update to and earn platinum coins. We'll have to see when that comes out in like the global version and whatnot, because not too sure. Sometimes the translations can be super funky, but here you go, just more of the summoning stuff. And yeah, so typical festival banner. Do we have any talk on the other units? Oh, here we go. So Elite Bellion, Ludus. So we've got the 3 Archangels, which is nice. Chandler as well. Garland. And it looks to be some of the, I think they're the summonable coin shops, not the, well, the summonable commandments, should I say, not the coin shop commandments. And then we also have these 3 here. So, I mean, the banner looks alright. I mean, depending on how Margaret goes, of course, the JP version has, you know, had this banner first, so we will be able to see how she plays out and whether or not, you know, you can decide on summoning. Now, there was stuff said by Speedy on one like the live streams or one of his videos that apparently he knows something that we don't, and there's something coming out that we should be saving for. He didn't quite put his finger on what it was, but most people are guessing it'll be a collab. So, if you like, you know, if you're not like the most, you know, crazily well off on gems, I would advise waiting for a little bit just to see what happens. But returning costume bundles here, I mean, these have been out for ages now, like first couple months they got released. And here are the Margaret costumes. Now, not a super big fan of any of them. I'm particularly not the biggest fan of this one. These 2 are pretty cool, but I mean, can we bring these up? No, we can't. That's alright. So yeah, Margaret costumes looking pretty cool, and these are the, yeah, just the stuff which we had back here. Looking at the trailer though, I'll quickly pause the music we have. Bring this up to full screen. I mean, I'm super big fan of her ulti animation. It looks absolutely sick. I mean, I would have liked her to have been a, you know, AoE unit, but then we would have had the exact same case as Barnes. So that is a super cool character art as well. But I mean, we'll just keep playing that there. But I mean, I don't think there's much else in the patch notes. Yeah, I mean, they didn't go over a lot of the quality of life updates. Mainly just stuff in like in how, let's say we just jump over to Grand Cross here. In your heroes section, when you down here, I think they're adding an option where you can basically, you know, filter your characters by like skill filters, so you can, you know, search for flood cards and just extra stuff like that and passive skills and whatnot. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys for some more Grand Cross content.